Mariana, water testing.
I got an estimate from Downstream Strategies. There's the paperwork on it, and basically the one test that they can do, it ends up costing, if you break it down on a per person basis for 4,000 people that our water system supplies, it's like 43 and a half cents per person. We end up doing it 4 times a year. That would be approximately $1.74 per person. The test, it's $1,740. They come out, they do all the sampling. The test results are done through a lab out of Charleston, so it's all in-state. The one that I would recommend is scenario 3, which is the expanded Marcellus Shale baseline sampling. And it tests for alkalinity, acidity, hardness, total dissolved solids, total suspended solids, total organic carbon, total metals. The metals include aluminum, arsenic, barium, calcium, iron, lead, magnesium, manganese, potassium, chromium, and chromium. Okay. Then bromine, chloride, sulfate, suffocants, TPH, GRO. I'm not sure, what does that mean?
GRO.
Here, I'm sorry, some of this stuff is... I'll have to get that information. Chris, would you know? She's got it. Total HG, chromium, they also test for...
It's gasoline, range organic, diesel range organic, oil.
Okay, so it's gasolines and oils.
Diesel and oil.
Okay.
Organic.
What about HG, total HG? Okay. And then chromium, but it pretty much does the expanded. This is like the best of the best. And it's a certified lab. The Downstream Strategies has a really good reputation. I'm still waiting to hear from a couple of other labs, but I have not heard back from them. So.
Are they going to test the water that the town?
No, what they're going to test is what's called surface water, which would be prior to the intake.
Okay.
Prior to the intake, not what the town has already treated, etc. It's what's going in.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Because as Mr. Long was talking about and Ms. Price were discussing about the air pollution they have that's raining down on their house from the Mark West plant, well, it's also coming down on Buckeye Creek. And Buckeye Creek is feeding into Middle Island. So, you know, it's plus the fact that there's a lot of other stuff going on. So, I mean, and what I was going to recommend is that the Doddridge County Watershed Association do this. The money, we work through the West Fork Conservation District as our fiduciary agent.
Fiscal agent.
Fiscal agent. So that basically, if you give them the money, we get it from West Fork and we pay for this stuff. And if we need to file or do one of those applications like you do for the grant money that you hand out to the different organizations, I'm sure our organization wouldn't have an objection with that since Wayne is the head of the organization. And would you be agreeable? That will also take all responsibility and put no unnecessary stress on the people at the water plant. The Watershed Association would not be taking the samples. This would all be administered by the lab, completely non-partisan parties. So,
and the money would be controlled by the West Fork Conservation District as we present them with the receipt for the results. They pay us, that they give us the money that you all would get.
Right, and actually, well, the way Downstream Strategies works, because they are a not-for-profit, or they are a for-profit company, I believe in here, depending on what level of testing, they do require like a down payment. So for the one that's like $1,740, they do require an $800 fee, which pays for the test kits or the bottles that they use, as well as transportation for whoever's coming to do the sampling. But considering breaking it down, if it's 43 cents or 43.5 cents per person, you know, and $1.74 to have this test done like 4 times a year, I'd say it's a pretty darn good investment.
Are you going to get more quotes?
I will get more quotes.
Okay.
I will get more quotes.
And did I understand you correctly? You're asking money from the commission to go to West Fork Conservation District?
Well, they're the ones, it's what they do for us as the Watershed Association. They handle our money, okay?
Okay.
So they're recognized that they handle our money. So it's a way like, it's kind of like our bank.
Okay.
That's the best way that I can explain.
So you want the commission to pay for this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at.
That was the whole purpose when I brought it up at the last.
Who do you want us to give the money to? That's the question.
I would recommend giving the down payment directly to Downstream Strategies and
Having them run the first test.
If you decide this is the people you want.
Right.
Yeah. I strongly, like, with some of the stuff that, you know, I've heard about some of the other labs and stuff like that. I mean, I've heard good and bad about all of them. And the companies that do this testing, Downstream, to me, appears to have some of the best reputation going, especially in state. And like I said, it's all in state. Okay, so, but I will, and as I was told by somebody that does a lot of this testing, a lab might be certified to do it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they do the good job. Okay, so if you have the paperwork, I mean, we'll be happy to fill it out. My attitude is, the sooner this gets done, the better off the baseline testing for that creek, instead of waiting. I mean, it just, but that of course is up to you guys as to whether or not.
Do you all want two other, do they want 2 other?
Probably. I mean, how many more estimates would you like?
You what?
How many more estimates from different labs or whatever would you like?
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm rude, but
Oh, no.
you've already made up your mind who you want.
No. It's your choice. You're giving out the money.
I know,
This is just
but
my
see,
personal preference.
We're putting our faith in you because you've got the experience with these companies. So if you want to give us 2 more estimates, we'll look at them.
Okay,
We'll be glad to look at them.
okay.
And we'll take care of the payment, whatever it is. We'll take care of it.
I would like to say, if you want to go with an inside West Virginia company, Downstream Strategies is going to be who it is. That's basically, you know, going to be our only option. So if you want to go out of state, which we can look into, we can provide you with that information. Okay.
With this, that would have pretty much the same qualifications. I do know someone that had water testing done, and I think it was out of Michigan or Chicago, and it ended up costing about twice as much as this because they had to pay for transportation costs.
That makes sense.
So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you, I mean, it says 1740 and then you say 4 times a year?
Yeah, every
and
3
then-
months.
And then was there an $800?
Every time they do the test, it's an 800, but that's towards the cost. It's
Okay.
1740 minus 800. That's just part of it. It's like putting
1740 includes the 800?
it includes the 800.
So in your proposal, indicate how many times you want to do it a year and what the total cost per year would be.
Is there, if I recall correctly, wasn't there some paperwork that gets filled out?
For contributions.
Okay, so when are you guys Is there a schedule that you make the decisions on that? Like when you do the contribution?
We did those already, and we're not going that route with this.
Okay.
We're just gonna pay for it.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
thank you.
okay.
Do you have any, Shirley, do you have any questions? Okay, thank you.